At 19, Mara Williams appeared to have everything.
She was a force to be reckoned with. She was extremely bright, very vivacious, very popular.
But behind these beautiful brown eyes and this wonderful family, things were far from perfect.
Never in a million years did I think I'd be talking about heroin at this point in my life.
On June 12, 2012, after a long battle with depression and chemical dependency, Mara Williams died from a heroin overdose.
I mean, how do you ever get over that? How do you ever get over finding your child, losing your child, trying to find meaning somehow out of that death and that loss?
Penny Legate has spent the last 5 years searching for answers, a journey that took her 2,000 miles away from her home in Seattle to the heart of New York City for the Police Executive Research Forum, where the opioid epidemic is on the forefront of everyone's minds.
We're getting flooded, and simply putting it on and banning it from export is going to solve the problem. I'm scared as hell out of me, to tell you the truth.
Nationwide, opioid-related deaths, including heroin and fentanyl, have quadrupled in recent years, killing an average of 91 Americans every day.
So many people want to call people who have substance use disorders junkies and losers and throwaway people, and that's just absolutely not true.
We can't be satisfied. I know you're not satisfied with just bringing someone back. We want to get them in treatment. We want to get them the help they need. And we want them to turn around their whole lives.
It's an epidemic striking everyone, everywhere, including right here in the nation's capital.
They're my grandfather. They're my uncle, right? They're my aunt. So they're the 50, 60-year-old black men and women here in the District of Columbia.
Dr. Roger Mitchell is DC's chief medical examiner, where last year nearly 200 people died from opioid overdoses. That's a 102% increase since 2014. But perhaps even more troubling, of those who died, more than half tested positive for fentanyl, a synthetic opioid between 50 to 100 times more powerful than morphine. Opioids are hitting wards 5, 7, and 8 especially hard. Lieutenant Andrew Struhar is in charge of the Narcotics Enforcement Unit for the DC Metropolitan Police Department.
Every heroin user thinks that they're smarter than the one that died.
The focus is on disrupting the supply chain before the drugs get into the hands of users.
Like we do with most of our drugs, is more of a three-prong approach. So we have a street level, a mid-level, and trafficking level investigations.
But DC's police chief Peter Newsham knows taking drugs off the street is just a band-aid for a much larger problem.
We have learned that arresting them and putting them in jail isn't doing anyone any good. And at the end of the day, you're treating issues that can be successfully treated.
And that's where the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion, or LEAD, steps in. It's a diversion program for low-level offenders that the Metropolitan Police Department is now considering.
And what happens in a law enforcement assisted diversion program, if you have people who do have mental health issues or substance abuse issues and they're involved in minor crimes where you don't have a victim, what you do, as opposed to introducing those folks into the criminal justice system, is you bring them over and you hand them off to the Department of Behavioral Health, and they can treat the mental health or the substance abuse issues.
From right here in DC to across the nation, tens of thousands of lives are at stake, with opioids now killing more Americans than gun violence and even car crashes.
But we're learning that what we've done in the past isn't working, right? The problem continues to grow. So I think law enforcement is recognizing that. They're looking for new solutions. With law enforcement, treatment, prevention, education, it's going to take all of that to solve this huge national crisis.
And the benefit for law enforcement is that we don't have to arrest these folks. You get them the treatment and the behavior stops. And that's exactly what we're trying to do here in Washington, D.C.
If we can ring the alarm and develop policies and programs that decrease this epidemic, then we're moving in the right direction.